Hello students, today we are going to discuss another important natural resource, that is coal and petroleum. Already in previous topics we have discussed about forest, wildlife and water as important natural resources, and this class will discuss about coal and petroleum as an important natural resource. So we have been some of the issues involved in the conservation and sustainable use of resources like forest, wildlife and water. These can meet our needs perpetually if we were to use them in a sustainable manner. Now we come to yet another important resource, that is fossil fuels. That is nothing but coal and petroleum, which are important source of energy for us. Since the Industrial Revolution, we have been using increasing amounts of energy to meet our basic needs and for the manufacture of the large number of goods upon which our lives depend. These energy needs have been largely met by the reserves of coal and petroleum. Okay? This management of energy sources involves slightly different perspectives from those resources discussed in the earlier. Definitely, because coal and petroleum are fossil fuels, if you see, they are non-renewable natural resources. But the remaining like forest, wildlife and water are renewable natural resources, so that these management techniques will be slightly different from renewable natural resources techniques and methods. Coal and petroleum were formed from the degradation of biomass millions of years ago, and hence these are resources that will be exhausted in the future no matter how carefully we use them. Right or not? Suppose this coal and petroleum definitely takes millions of years for formation of them, like plants and the plant materials. Even the animals, when they are submerged under the earth's crust, because of the high pressure, they start incompletely decompose and they were forming. Because of that, when we overexploit, even how much carefully we utilize them, they may be exhaust soon in our near future. And then we would need to look for alternative sources of energy. So various estimates as to how long these resources will last us exist, and one is that at present rates of usage, our known petroleum resources will last us for about 40 years and the coal resources will last for another 200 years. Suppose if in the present rate, how we utilizing at the present rate, same way if you keep on utilizing this coal and petroleum, there is a chance of lasting of this petroleum resources for another 40 years and coal resources for another 200 years. After that, there is a chance of exhausting. So that definitely we need to look after for this alternative sources of energy instead of depending completely on the fossil fuels. Suppose you see, these all are the alternative sources of energy like tidal energy, wind energy, solar energy, even some nuclear energies. Okay, so all these type of energies we need to look after instead of depending completely on the fossil fuels. But looking to other sources of energy is not only consideration when we look at the consumption of coal and petroleum. Since coal and petroleum have been formed from biomass, means they are nothing but the incomplete decompositions of the plants and animals. They definitely consist of carbon, right? So in addition to carbon, these contain hydrogen, nitrogen and sulfur also, because they are made of biomass only. So the chemicals like carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, sulfur are present in these fossil fuels like coal and petroleum. When these are burnt, the products are carbon dioxide, water, oxides of nitrogen and oxides of sulfur, obviously. So when we start combusting them, during combustion process, in presence of oxygen, they start burning. So this hydrogen, nitrogen, sulfur and carbon, when react with oxygen, their products will be carbon dioxide, water, oxides of nitrogen and oxides of sulfur, which are extremely poisonous in nature and toxic chemicals these are, right? Of course water is not a toxic chemical, but water vapor form, it is accumulating in the environment, but remaining definitely causes the acid rain formation. Okay, so when combustion takes place in an insufficient air, that is complete presence of oxygen is not there, that leads to incomplete combustion process, then carbon monoxide is formed instead of carbon dioxide. Suppose if it is a complete combustion, sufficient level of oxygen is there, then directly carbon dioxide can be formed when carbon burned in presence of sufficient level of oxygen. Sufficient levels or appropriate levels of oxygen is not there, then this carbon produces carbon monoxide gas instead of carbon dioxide, which is more poisonous. Carbon monoxide is more poisonous, and if we breathe them, definitely carbon monoxide can bind with our hemoglobin, respiratory pigment, so that our blood loses the efficiency to carry oxygen, because hemoglobin is occupied with the carbon monoxide, so that oxygen cannot be carried by the hemoglobin. Okay, these oxides of sulfur and nitrogen and carbon monoxide are poisonous at high concentrations, and carbon dioxide definitely is a greenhouse gas. Okay, when in high concentrations this type of gases like oxides of sulfur, nitrogen and carbon monoxide are released, definitely they are poisonous and they create pollution in the atmosphere. At the same time, even carbon dioxide also in high concentration behaves like a greenhouse gas. Carbon dioxide, to be frank, it is required to be present in the atmospheric gases, but when the levels are increased, then that act as a greenhouse gas, which leads to global warming. Okay, so global warming is because of this greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide. Suppose we can see here how temperatures on the earth are rising, and that causes destruction in the atmosphere and environment. So another way of looking at coal and petroleum is that they are huge reservoirs of carbon, and if all of this carbon is converted to carbon dioxide, then the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is going to increase, that leads to intense global warming. Thus, we need to use these resources definitely judiciously and wisely we need to use. Carbon dioxide don't let the heat to escape out from the environment or atmosphere. When carbon dioxide gas levels are increased, then slowly temperatures on the earth start increasing, that leads to global warming. So that definitely we need to use these gases judiciously. There are some simple choices we can make a difference in our energy consumption. So as a student or as a kid, as an individual, we can take some choices which make a difference in our energy consumption. So we can think over the relative advantages and disadvantages and environment friendliness of the following. So some of the steps are given, some of the ways are given. Once we can go through them, which one is preferable to which one, we'll see. Taking a bus, using your personal vehicle, or walking or cycling, which one is preferable if you want to reach to your school? Suppose your school or your destiny is near to you, definitely through walk or by walk it's preferable, or else we can do cycling. Okay, if you know cycling, then we can prefer this one because it's a sort of exercise also. Both walking and cycling are preferable. If it is your destination is distinct or away from your house, your journey is longer, by the time you can choose definitely taking a bus than using your personal vehicle. Okay, definitely public transportation is good because when you use your personal vehicle for nearby distances also, that creates lot of pollution. Remember, this is suitable when the situations are normal in condition, not for the present situations, but when the situations are normal in condition, definitely taking a bus or using public transport is preferable to using the individual transport. Next, using a bulb or fluorescent tubes in your home. So which one is preferable? Definitely fluorescent tubes, because bulbs, if you see that those are the tungsten bulbs which depend on the heating effect of electricity, so that it consumes more heat. Okay, and resistance also more in the tungsten bulbs. But in the case of fluorescent tubes, as they completely depend on the chemicals and they are not playing or working on the basis of the heating effect, so they are preferable than the using bulbs. So electric consumption, power consumption also can be reduced. Using the lift or taking the staircase. Definitely taking the staircase, as you are the children, definitely you can go through the staircase instead of using the lift. And in the present scenario also, we can prefer staircase instead of using the lift, as lift is it could be used by many people, so we can avoid that one. At the same time, when you frequently use the lift, it consumes more power or electricity. Wearing an extra sweater or using a heating device. Definitely wearing an extra sweater for every hour or for every half an hour, instead of using these heating devices to keep your rooms hot, better it's wearing an extra sweater. Okay, the management of coal and petroleum also addresses the efficiency of our machines. Fuel is most commonly used in internal combustion engines for transportation, and recent research in this field, it concentrates on ensuring complete combustion in these engines in order to increase efficiency and also reduce air pollution. So along with all these steps what we can take, definitely some of the fuels which combust completely, such type of fuels we have to prefer. Because of that, emissions of the pollution also can be reduced. Okay, so that is about coal and petroleum. Thank you.